Hey everyone, your girl is here. So I'll give it another 5 seconds and you guys can pause it if you need to. But holy cow, guys, coming to you guys tonight now. This is wild. So you guys can see, I officially went through and then I counted the number of draws. And it actually ended up being 157 in 2025. So then I figured out just to break even. Oh no, I actually didn't even do that. Actually, because I didn't adjust this. I don't think you can break even, guys. They obviously do that for a reason. But if because it's always 5 games, but I wasn't using 5 games. So regardless, even sticking back to the basics, so I did 240. Because I made a mistake at first. I was like, well, it's just what? 8 times. Well, it's like, oh, 8, 12, 16, 24. And then it's like, oh, that's for every game itself. So I had to do 8 times 5 is 40. And then 40 times the number of times that 2 came up, because that's where you got the 8 from, because it's $8. So technically it's only a $4 profit if you think about it. But regardless, I didn't quite do that part right, but that's okay. So it was 240, but again, that's not the actual profit. So because you already spent what? Well, 5 times 2 is 10, right? Yeah, 5 games times, no, $3. So you're actually spending, again, 15. So you're spending 15 and you're making 8, 12, 16, right? No, 8, 16, 24, 30, 40. So then 40 from 15, 40, 30, 25. So you're actually making $25 profits, guys. That's where I messed up. So then $25 profits times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 25. Well, 4 quarters and then additional. So it's actually $150, guys. That is the profit. So I actually did that wrong. So, $150 profit. So it'd actually be like 300. Yeah, guys, that is crazy. So you're still losing $2,000. That's crazy. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, because even if you do increase the draws that you have to do, then you would have to change your independent variable, which means that it's existing all by itself, right? Like I had kind of shared before. So yeah, it looks, guys, from just number 1. I'll go through and do the rest, it's good math and everything. And just kind of see, but you definitely probably would, and then I had to try to incorporate a way that you would have to switch between the numbers. Like maybe pick 3 numbers that are the most common in a 3-year span, right? Like figure out, like my list here, right? Like 1 was used 10 times last year, 20 was used 10 times, and 25 was used 10 times. And the 10 times were 24 and 26, so not really have a massive advantage there. But definitely, guys, just like really try to figure it out. and just kind of see. So anyhow, guys, so I'll go ahead here and I'll get going. As you can see how cute my hair is. I guess I can show this. So it looks really, really nice back there, guys. So I'm very happy and excited. So definitely not happy and excited with this Powerball. Because again, they make it like that. You can't. They make it so you can't get ahead, obviously. But yeah, so, but it'll definitely be kind of cool to see, then what happens if you go up to 3, and all of that. Because it looks like we have a lot of winter weather coming, guys. So it'll definitely be worth the time to do this, and take care of this. So, like I said, they didn't call me back as well from Florida today. So if they don't, I'll just go ahead and do it myself. Get the Clearwater rental. And, I can always go off again myself, and see the landmarks from the sea, on my paddleboard. So I'm very happy and excited, guys, with everything. But like I said, I'll go ahead here. I'll get going. Definitely talk to you guys a little bit later. You guys already know I'm not getting my anchor mushroom, but my mushroom anchor. There we go. So, alright guys, I'm just gonna brush my teeth and go to bed because all I'm doing is yawning in this video. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hey everyone, your girl is here, so coming to you guys today now. Yes, you guys can obviously see last night, even with doing all of that, it still took me, well, it was actually about my normal, but that thing was just starting as I was going to bed, and now here it is again, guys. Freaking crazy, but I'm definitely taking 30 minutes, because I did wake up just a little bit earlier than usual. Because of that freaking thing, I need to find a way to take care of that thing, guys. That is crazy. I hate being such a light sleeper, too. So I'm going to finish the rest of my 20 minutes, and then we'll do my push-ups together, and I'll do some standouts from my videos that I watched yesterday as well. I'm trying to make a video here that I watched yesterday before work. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Alright guys, so that is 1 full minute. I don't think that'll be enough to wake me up. So, holy cow guys, I can't believe that I got it. So, anyhow guys, tomorrow, obviously, my, purple lights are coming, so we'll set all that up tomorrow, which will be a Freaky Friday. And then, they still haven't approved my request that I put in, but I have to go in today to get my pay stubs. So, I will obviously, you know, ask them then. You know, it's like, hey, I don't know, did you see my request for Valentine's Day? So, yeah, it'll be really, really fun, guys. And obviously, I got paid today, a nice amount. So, obviously, I will, you know, actually, I'm going to call that Clearwater place now. And then I'll see what they say, and just say I had seen on, you know, Marathon website, but I was also thinking about doing a Clearwater jet ski too. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and call them now, and then I'll come back on with the news, and then we'll go over my videos. It'll just be real quick, but there was something cool that I saw stand out, and one can kind of be expected, but the other one was kind of crazy. So, anyhow, guys, I'll talk to you guys later.
Boys will understand these pictures. Alright, let's see if I'm a real boy. What the heck? This freaking style. What are you watching? Nothing.
See, I don't
in orange.
get that
That's
out of
putrid
that.
and disgusting. Boys on November 1st. Right, because it's no, not November. I guess I'm a real boy. I remember in one of my other videos when I did Only Boys Will Understand, tested by a girl, some of the comments were like, oh my god, are you trans? Because, like, I knew some of the things. I guess this confirms that I am, in fact, trans. That's a joke. Places where the boys run hella fast. Okay, what does that even mean? Basketball court during a game? Barefoot in grass, dark.
So anyhow, guys, that also just sums up everything too. And it's so cool when you see other people who think like you and also say things like you, obviously, and talk like you, obviously. That is obviously a more jokeful and less serious because it's joking and they know that it's joking. There's a mutual knowing that there's joking. But in some instances, and I never shared this whenever I made my video, on Monday night after work, but obviously, yes, for some people they could take that as encouragement, and you shouldn't feel ashamed about 5 medium and 2 very dirty stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, there has to be that balance as well, and I'll get into that here later in the video, but I just wanted to also share it's good to also think of, could I be minimalizing something, you know, and, you know, what I'm saying, like, could I be minimalizing something that, and could I help them as well? You know, could I ask questions, right, and try to see, like, what kind of videos these people are watching too, and see if they actually are taking it the wrong way, or if they're having a hard time distinguishing, you know, so then they're catastrophizing and they're, you know, hey, you know, this culture is way too sexualized, is actually not, they're not seeing it the way that it is, and it's actually less, and it is less, and you don't have to feel guilty about reminding them of that too. So again, there's just a lot of different avenues and such like that. So anyhow, one thing though you do have to feel guilty about, this is the final thing. So if you visibly see somebody's magma chamber build, you know, like I said before with the guy who did the school shooting on his birthday, that's an instance of, you know, you actually should, and you can't, I don't know if you can't, that's what most people say, you can't blame people for the chain is on your door, so I understand kind of thing, but having a chain on their door while they're being assertive to you, it's like, I didn't, you know, play a part in that magma chamber didn't build, actually, yeah, and you should feel guilty about that because you could have done something, you know what I'm saying? So there's a difference between that and then, like, you know, I'm just not one of those people who want to share, right, like carp payment, do you know what I'm saying? Anyhow guys, let's get back into the video. And think like you and can you know, laugh about it too. Because I know sometimes, obviously, it is harder, right, for um, certain people, you know, like to most people, like if they have like a dark sense of humor, right? Like I said before, right? It's like, yeah, that's one of those things where you probably wouldn't laugh back with them. You would probably have some kind of like reminder, right? To know your place, right? Because, you know, you can't be doing that anywhere and everywhere, you know. Or, well, I guess you can, but it's just, you know, you should be prepared, right? Like for any consequences, right? Because not everybody will take it well. And if you're enough, like adult enough, so to say, to take that step, right, then you should be adult enough to handle the repercussions and realize that it's like known consent, right? Like you know what you're signing up for, right? So you know that, right? And as long as you know that and you're okay with that, you know. Yes. Anyhow, so that also kind of goes off what I had said even back in my final video before break. Remember when there were those guys swimming trunks? It's like I don't know what those are. Yes, I do know what guys swimming trunks are, guys. Of course I do. You know, so just go to the store and you'll see them, right? In the guys section. The guys section is usually right beside the girls section in Walmart. You know what they are. So that was really, really cool whenever she had said that. And also then my other videos yesterday. So I didn't know that the guy was born in Ukraine and he actually hired a new CEO even though it hasn't been bought out. Because I was curious one time myself and I looked at the CEO of OnlyFans, like who created it, and it actually gave that girl's name, not the guy's name that was from Ukraine. And he started off with, they said the names of the sites and everything, and then yeah, it was just crazy, honestly. And then he did like scamming at first, you know, but even with all those mini lawsuits, he was able to pay it all out, which is the wrong idea, right? Like I said before, with profits over people, right? And the plane crash in, you know, Kentucky, it's like, oh yeah, they won't be crying like that, right? And I said my Graham's example with 9/11 and Star Wars, right, on Saturday. So you guys get the point, yes. Which is obviously the wrong idea, but, and then, also that one girl that I did watch then, she had also shared that, she's like, oh, I can, feel sexy sometimes too. So yeah, that was like a good balance as well from like what I had said. It's like either baggy sweatpants or porn, one or the other. And it's just like, no, that's definitely a confusion time, right? In my opinion, because obviously, you're so prone to almost, I don't know, if like believing that not like believing that you're entitled to gaze, but you maybe expect, I don't know, maybe they heard it so much that they, had kind of went then to just do porn or do, you know what I'm saying, like all the gaze, right? And that's obviously what a lot of those videos share, that it's all about the male gaze, right? So yeah, anyhow, which kind of also goes off just how I started this video too. They can kind of become desensitized to it, and not know how to present it appropriately, and that's okay. And you need to do your part in taking care of that. Okay. So yeah, hang on, let me talk to my gram quick. So I just talked to my gram, obviously, and she did obviously let me obviously use her credit card. I'll just pay her back right now. Because for some unknown reason, you could only do a credit card rental on the rental for Clearwater. So I took care of that. And also, speaking of, Sexual Saturday has really carried into this week like crazy. It's wild. Because I did obviously finish up with that girl. So she did also say a lot of things that were common, you know, the difference between, there's a big difference between empowerment and degrading. And then she also showed Tate McRae's like concerts, which I haven't seen much of hers. I knew Britney Spears obviously danced around with the snake on her neck when she was doing her stuff in the 90s. But anyhow, guys, also in that video, there were like, there was this one link that they could share, and you could like do it discreetly, because, you know, obviously, again, people lose their jobs because of that. And then they also shared the reality in the girls' video that there's only like $150 a month actually happens, and everybody knows that too. So anyhow, guys, speaking of that, in Michaela's video, I actually did think for a minute, but then I was like, well, you know, that's probably in her realm of being okay with it. I didn't want to say anything, and also, you know, it was obviously in front of a lot of people. I mean, think about it, it's on the internet, but it's kind of different than nobody actually taking a photo at the volleyball game and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Out of concern and showing the concern the wrong way, right? Kind of like I had shared with Rebecca Rogers, Miss Rogers. Yes, I remember I had shared that before, where, you know, you're uptight in the heat of the moment, and now you make a permanent mistake because of a heat of a moment, right? Kind of thing. So that's why not everybody should have access to those cameras. So yes, that was really, really kind of like a crazy one where I didn't know how to present it appropriately, and was her only time, you know, that it was obviously yes. So I was like, you know, I wasn't gonna ask where's your no, I didn't want to do any of that. Like, I felt like I knew, and I felt that she genuinely made a mistake, so I let it be, and I didn't say anything out of concern because it was probably just a mistake. And yeah, so that was really, really cool. Obviously, again, it's much later after the time too, which with the volleyball game it was different because I was talking about modesty, but then with her, I wouldn't see, because hers was modesty. It was just not the good lighting and all of that stuff. So yeah, I kind of thought that was crazy too. You know, Sexual Saturday has been carrying in all week long, guys. It's crazy. So anyhow, I'll go ahead here. I'll get going here. Probably watch it, maybe also real quickly, Visual Venture had also shared the experiments, and I'm very surprised, and I don't really believe, but I was very surprised that they let that person die before they could ever do a follow-up, right, on the white rat and white rug and all of that. That was crazy, that they let him die before they could do the follow-up. And then, you know, speaking of the money, right, that there was like 64% of people, you know, chose to do wrong, right, when there was like money involved, which was wild. So it's like, yeah, you can, but that also goes off what I had said with the suicide example, right? It's like, yeah, you know, I was at the store, right? I was holding your daughter at gunpoint and saying, hey, buy these pills and take these pills, right, and die slowly and painfully because I'm not going to shoot you, right, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you know, that's kind of goes off what I said. You know, if dead horses appeared, or if 80 dead horses didn't appear and then disappear into thin air as soon as they said those words, then guess what? My daughter would have never considered and actually acted on that. So yeah. Anyhow, guys, I'll go ahead here. I'll get going, and then I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll officially get out my lights. Yeah, and then I'll come back here. Well, I'll just probably include the photo at the end of booking the jet ski rental, and then we'll pretty much be ready, guys, for Florida. So I'll probably get my hotel then, maybe on Monday, So do just a little bit more research. Just figure out, the different, days and such that, and like the relative, look, because I remember the Walmart ones are that far away. So, figure that kind of stuff out. And then, yeah, go from there. And then get the hotel. Because I do believe they would have, like, a small refrigerator. So, and I think I brought my... Did I bring my white... Did I bring that black refrigerator, or did I throw that out? That mini one, because I was always saying... Well, no, because that would be really, really hard to just carry up and down. And I don't know if they would let you take it in. And that's one of those things where it's not a bad thing, but it's still one of those things where it's a rule, so they have to enforce it, right? So sometimes people try to sneak in little things, Obviously, some things they will follow up on then. It's not like a razor is banned. No place is going to ban you from shaving while you're on vacation. But I'm talking like a pack of cigarettes and a lighter, right? Yeah, that kind of stuff. People figure out real quick what it is. So, anyhow, guys, I'll go ahead here. I'll get going, and we'll do my push-ups then. You guys can hear it is now 11:52, so I gotta hurry, and get lunch, and then get going. So, I'll have to also edit all these videos. So, here I go, guys. Holy cow, guys, that is wild. Life flight once again. Oh my gosh, guys, that is crazy. Let's see if I can see him. Nope, he's too low. Let me go there. Where? Look, they're literally landing. Look how low they are. Or maybe they're just doing that because of the wind.
I don't see anything.
I mean, look way up there. Above those trees. No, they're not. Hey everyone, your girl is here. So here I am now. We're going to end today's film. I have to go get my lunch around. But my real quick lunch video and me unpacking this will all be tomorrow. And then in tomorrow's video for obviously tonight. And then we will also hang up my lights tomorrow as well. And this is 2 now bikinis for my next bikini try on with you guys. And I still have all the modesty pad try-ons to do with you guys. And then maybe depending on, what's going on before Florida as well, we can even do my leggings with you guys too. So it'll definitely be really, really a fun time. Then we'll get all these set up, and it's just going to be really, really cute and fun. But we will open this up, obviously, once I get home tonight. And then, obviously, in my next video, like I just said, we'll start with lunch, and then unpacking this, and then the lights tomorrow morning. And any additional follow-ups that I do. Obviously, I'll share the follow-up with how the clunk, clunk, clunk is working. And you guys can hear it's working really, really good. So, anyhow, guys, I'll go ahead here, and I'll get going. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. But I'll shoot more films tonight, right? Yes, that's what I do. Anyhow, guys, talk to you guys tomorrow.